Whenever we see people doing outrageous acts of crime and destruction, we ask ourselves, how was that possible? How could they have done that? And the answer is simple. Everyone is always doing their best in accordance to their view of the world at the time of action. Yes, it might be difficult to grasp that tyrants, despots, inquisitors and mass murderers all have been doing the best they could. But they all thought, from their perspective, that they were doing the right thing at the moment of action. Men like Hitler, Stalin, Saddam, and the ones who gave us 9/11, and 1,000 others, all thought that they were doing the right thing. In their confused mind, they could fully justify their action to themselves. They had no doubts that what they did was the most appropriate solution at that time. As a matter of fact, it was their strong conviction that they thought they were right, which gave them the power to execute these horrendous crimes. But didn't they also have the free will to not commit these actions? Of course they had. But, like everyone who acts destructively, their minds were confused. If they had been stronger, less confused, and more compassionate, they all could have made better choices. Things could have played out differently. But they did not, because at that time they were emotionally, physically or psychologically not strong enough to act differently. The same applies to everyone around us who does things of which we do not approve of. People who act differently to what we expect them to do are also doing the best they can, always according to their personal view of the world. But their view of the world is always a reflection of their mind. For instance, a terrorist is someone who has terror within himself. Does this mean we have to excuse these actions if they are harmful to us or others? Of course not. If there is a way for us to stop the action, we should do whatever is possible in our power. Furthermore, we can try to understand why they did what they did and why they thought that the action was right in their own eyes. But very often it's not possible for us to see through them and fully grasp why they did what they did. Wouldn't most people condemn such a person or even seek revenge? Yes. But a true master or leader would refrain from judging or condemning such a person, because judging always means I am right and you were wrong. Even traditional forgiving is a tricky thing, because traditional forgiving is also based on the concept of separation, like I'm right and you were wrong. Now, by the way, I am explaining the difference between traditional forgiving and true forgiving in a separate video. You may enjoy watching it. Masters or true leaders would not condemn or judge anybody. That makes them so different to the rest of the world. That's why they are leaders. A true leader's emotional response to anybody who acts crazy or mad would always be to love, love, and love once again. Everybody is worthy of love, irrespective of what they have done and who they are. Everybody. Think of the great words by Dr. Martin Luther King. He said, "And do to us what you will, and we will still love you. Bomb our homes, threaten our children, and as difficult as it is, we will still love you." End of quote. It requires real greatness and wisdom of a true leader to make such a statement. The secondary step for us might be to look at our own emotional response to what the other person did. For instance, if we hear someone has murdered someone and it makes us emotionally upset and angry, why are we upset? What is this act mirroring back to us? Where and whom have we, quote, murdered in our thoughts? For instance, isn't hating someone or even wishing them ill just another form of murder? Or isn't knowingly pursuing an unhealthy lifestyle another variation of self-murder? All our emotional reactions to other people's actions are our opportunities for self-discovery and freedom. If we truly understand that everything is happening always for our growth and benefit, we may even be able to thank the person for having given us the opportunity to discover who we are in truth. Again, this is not to excuse the action, but we thank them for mirroring back to us who we are. The ancient Hawaiian practice of reconciliation and forgiveness, also called Ho'oponopono, teaches us to say in our mind, among others, I love you and thank you to every person we encounter in our life, particularly to those who make our lives difficult. Thank you for watching.